Hey everybody, Jeremy here. So today we're going to be checking out a game called Trek to Yomi. If you have Xbox Game Pass, you can pick this up as part of that subscription for free, but otherwise you can pick it up on Steam on PC for $20, or you can also get it for PlayStation 4 and 5, as well as Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. So this game is a very pretty, very cinematic, side scrolling action game. It has a very unique look, as you can see here. The entire thing is in black and white, and it talks of a classic tale of a samurai. We're talking about honor, duty, courage, love, and loss. And I want to show you what this game is about in the opening moments. So this is the very beginning of the game. You play as a character. His name is Hiroki, and he is a student. He is training under his master to become a samurai, and this is his town. So we've just gotten through the tutorial portion of this game, and I just want to just show you how nice and pretty and how cinematic this is. Now, even though combat is the core aspect of it, there'll be some situations like this where you can talk to people. Maybe they'll have something for you to do that won't be required. Sometimes there's some things that you can do that, in order to progress, that will also help them out at the same time, but it's not quest driven at all. These are just little side things, such as finding little collectibles scattered throughout the world and things like that, interacting with the environment. So the combat in this game is simple, but at the same time they give you different abilities that you can use to fight your enemies. As you can see right there, I just picked up a collectible. You can go into the main menu and read about these different collectibles here. I can move over to my skills, and it tells you the type of skills that you have currently and more skills that you're going to unlock as the game goes on. Since this is the very beginning, we are very limited in the skills that we have, but eventually we're going to get a whole bunch of them, as well as defensive skills and other skills, which includes ranged weapons as well. I've gone through this entire game, and if you're wondering about the length, you can get through the entire thing in about a weekend, so it won't take up too much of your time. So what's going on now is pretty much what you're going to be experiencing for the rest of this game. There's some trouble going down, and the only one that can stop it is going to be you. So the other great thing about this game is, and I keep bringing up the cinematic aspect of it all, but you'll get camera angles like this. You can see really up close cinematics. We'll get these mid-range shots, and then we'll also get these really beautiful wide shots as well, similar to this here. I'm just going to skip this dialogue real quick. And here are the shrines. These shrines are plentiful. You find them pretty much after, I would say, every other encounter. In these shrines, when you interact with them, they will restore your health and your stamina, and it will also act as a save point. So there aren't any items that you would use to heal yourself. You just basically go from encounter to encounter, run into a shrine, heal yourself up, and then you can continue your journey. So now we're about to encounter our very first fight. All right, so here we go. So when it comes to fighting, you have a stamina bar. You can see at the bottom left of the screen. The stamina bar is very important. You need to keep your stamina going at all times so that you don't get tired and leave yourself open to attack. You can see your health down there at the lower left as well. And when you die, I'm just going to let this guy kill me. You will immediately respawn back at the last shrine that you were at. and then you can pick up where you left off. Now let's finish this guy off. Now, the whole key to this is being able to parry and attack. So you can tap, if you're using an Xbox controller, you tap the left bumper to parry. You can hold it to block, but most of the time you're going to want to parry. The screen slows down, the game slows down a little bit, and then you'll be able to continue your attack. You'll be able to follow it up, and that's really the way that the combat is going to work. Here's some more guys we can fight. You can press the Y button for a heavy attack. X is going to be for a light attack. You can press A to turn around and face the back in case there's someone coming up behind you. And then you can turn around also with A. You hold B to run. So you see, I just fought a couple of guys and we're already at the next shrine. So let's just keep on moving. Here's another guy. He's going to attack. Parry. Got me that time. And with kind of weaker enemies like this, usually just one heavy attack will do. And one thing I will say about this game is that the combat is not necessarily deep. If I can face this guy, is he going to attack me? I can block him. Timing was a little bit off there. So the combat isn't really deep, but as the game goes on, you're going to get different techniques that will help you fight against different types of enemies. For example, armored enemies. There's a specific combo that will work really, really well against armored enemies, and just constantly trying to hit them with light attacks is going to be a way to kind of quickly get you tired, and it's going to leave you vulnerable. So if we've come across our next victim, and most of the time you'll be fighting against just a single enemy. You will run into multiple enemies from time to time, and in some situations you'll have enemies attacking you from the front and enemies attacking you from behind. And as you can see here, we just got the rotation attack. So if someone were to come up from behind me, I'll be able to press back and X, and I'll be able to attack behind me. Instead of having to manually press A to just turn around, I'll be able to turn around and attack at the same time. It will come in handy on occasion. Here's this really cool shot. As you can see what's going on in the foreground with that guy. And it's a whole lot of scenes like that in this game that really help to bring out the cinematography. It's like you're playing a samurai movie, really. So you're going to be in it for the looks and for the experience, and not necessarily for the complexities of the sword play, because it's not too complicated. So you can see those horses in the background. We're now fighting against multiple enemies. And once you get your timing down, get your parrying down, you'll be able to take out these guys with relative ease. You just got to get your timing right. Now, as far as your stamina bar goes, the stamina bar, although it is a concern, it's not as big of a concern as games such as Elden Ring or Dark Souls or something like that. You really only run the risk of running out your stamina meter if you're wasting your attacks. Like if you're fighting against an armored enemy but you aren't using the right attack, then the combination of attacking and blocking will just drain your stamina meter quicker. So you have to be more efficient. You'll also be able to go off the beaten path. It's not just up and down and left and right. You can see I can move into this little hut here and look for these glimmers of light, and I can pick up collectibles. There's also things in this game that you can use to increase your total health and to increase your stamina, and they are located all around the place. So you can do a little bit of exploring in order to find those goodies. And then you can also find things like ammunition for when you start to get ranged weapons. So as you can see here, I got a couple of enemies that are just sort of down there. And here they come. We can take these guys out. You have to turn around when they attack. Okay, so the reason why that happened is because I wanted to show you something else. There'll be occasions in this game where you can use the environment to your advantage. So for example, if I was in a position where those guys wasn't able to see me, I would be able to interact with the environment like this, for example, and send those logs crashing down on them or whatever else such an interaction would have been attached to, like breaking a dam, for example. So this is just Hiroki in the earlier stages of the game, but you don't just play as a kid the entire way. This is just sort of setting you up for what's to come. So right now, I'm going to just get through this and I'm going to come back real quick and we're going to see what happens once he's all grown up. So here we are, Hiroki is all grown up. Didn't show you what happened at the end of that previous level, and I want you to be able to experience that for yourself. But as you can see, we started things off surrounded by multiple enemies, and we also have a bow shuriken. So this is the first range attack that we get that you can select with the right directional button, and then you can just hit the right trigger in order to throw it. So we're going to do that with the next enemy that we see. Again, these camera angles, it's just really something to behold. It's a very pretty game, very unique, and totally worth your time if you have Game Pass. Occasionally, we'll get some interactive elements like this. Not too many, but we do get them. There's also some very light puzzle solving as well. Again, it doesn't happen too frequently, but that is in this game if you like puzzles, but they're simple puzzles. So as you can see, I can throw those bow shurikens like that. And let's just kind of take these guys down. See, I can just continue to hold my block, and you can see how my stamina is going down. Let's see if he can exhaust me. See, this is what happens when you're exhausted. The controller vibrates, and you really can't do anything until you can get your stamina back. It's fairly easy to replenish your ammo. Here's another combination that we have. So we can go X, 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 Y. And you'll just have to remember these combos, and chances are there's going to be a few of them that you use frequently. And then you also have finishers. Finishers are also really cool. If you can get an enemy stunned, then you'll be able to finish them. We'll see if we'll be able to do that here. We'll try to use that new technique that we have. So we're going to parry. Ah, we missed it. Okay, so I think that was our opportunity to do a finisher. But I screwed that up. But trust me, they are very satisfying. And then you also replenish a small portion of, well, actually a fairly generous portion of your health once you do pull off a finisher. So we're just going to move along just a little bit longer here, but I think just by seeing this, you can get a very good idea of what the combat is like, and the only thing left to do is to just sort of experience the story. These enemies here, they're a little bit too weak for me to pull off a 3-hit combo on them. We'll see what happens here. Oops. Oh, this guy. Yeah, things can get away from you pretty quickly, you know. So you got to get your timing down, get your rhythm down, because, you know, once you start to slip, you'll be surprised how many attacks they can get in on you. All right, so we're going to go through this cave, and I believe in this cave I'll be able to show you some environmental interactions against the enemy. And then shortly after that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, so there's our shrine. So you see there's 2 different directions that we can go. I can follow that guy into here, and you can see that guy right there throwing things down. You can choose to take this upper path. And you see these guys just hanging out underneath a precariously placed platform with the big rocks on them. So I can just hit this and take them all out at once as opposed to having to fight them all individually. So you'll be able to run into things like that on occasion. There's one guy that we can rescue. And then we can just move on from here. But yeah, guys, pretty much that is what Trek to Yomi is about. I think the most interesting thing about it, besides the cinematography aspect of it all, is the story. It's a classic story. Look at that. That looks so beautiful. It's a classic story of revenge, love, and loss, and honor and duty, and all that good stuff. And it doesn't take too long to complete. So it's just a really nice way to spend some free time that you might have and experience a game that is just totally unique in the way that it looks and the animations for the different attacks. And these are just the really simple attacks, but you'll be able to get some more fancier flourishes that really make you feel cool once you pull them off, especially once you start getting executions on a more frequent basis, which I think maybe we'll be able to experience that along this bridge here. Okay, so right after that, we're going to wrap this guy up. So this guy is an armored enemy. So if you keep trying to just attack him with regular attacks, it's not going to go too well. But if I block him, hit him with the combo, he gets dazed. Hit the right bumper, execution. And now we just learned a new technique. We can do like a double overhead chop. And that works well against the armored enemies as well. But usually you want to use that anti-armor combo, and that is going to take them out. All right, so I am going to leave it here. That was Trek to Yomi. Once again, it's on Game Pass. Download that for free if you're subscribed. Otherwise, you can also get it on the PlayStation Store, and you can get it on Steam, and it's going to be $20. I think it's worth it. This is definitely one of the most unique games, if not the most unique games that I've played all year. I really enjoy it. So that's it, you guys. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm Jeremy. Take care, and I'll talk to you later.